Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started, man. 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace yesterday. I wanted to make this video right after the game, but I actually enjoy making it sort of right after. I guess I should say the day after. I get to go through things on Twitter, and obviously press conferences are released, and you get, what the managers both have had to say and kind of reactions overall. So I think most of the time I'll probably just end up doing the video the day after the game. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. I'm just going to pop my notes open here. Yeah, 2-2. I mean, not a whole lot really to take away from the game other than the same old issues that we're having. I know Arteta went on to talk about the unbeaten run that we're having, and just scraping away really to get a point away at to get a point from Crystal Palace. It's not what we want to be seeing, especially scoring early. Early on it was a great goal from Oba. Just a poacher's goal was knew where to be and put it in the back of the net, and we just crawled in this defensive shape for the whole game. And that first goal was just a lapse. We talk about how this is the back four that we want. It's without a doubt our strongest back four, and I just don't know why. I mean, Benteke was just given all that room, and he just I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I couldn't believe it when I was watching it, because you just thought, okay, now is the point. You got to make a challenge. Okay, now you really he just kept going, and I mean, it was a great finish, but Ramsdale's not saving that. We could talk about the second goal, and perhaps he could have saved that. It looked just right over his head, but the way that oh geez, his name now is slipping my mind. Edouard had hit it. It I think it was just the contact itself. I mean, Ramsdale wasn't ready for it. It just again, it did look like it went right over his head, but it was a very awkward shot. Certainly something he meant to do, but I think he could have done better. But I think Ramsdale overall had a good game. His passing was really good, though. In the first half, there was a pass that he had just split through the whole Crystal Palace. Like front 6, 7, whatever it was, just right through. I was actually waiting for it to be intercepted, but it went right through. So that was a positive. Obviously, we know his strengths, and the save he made against Gallagher, right before the half was a brilliant save. I mean, didn't really see much of that. That certainly was going in and into the top corner of the goal. So good save from him there. But yeah, I mean, it was sort of this game of luck and unluck. I mean, Tierney hit the post, of course, towards the end of the game, and we can obviously talk about VAR, and I think Mike Dean had a horrible game, as he actually tends to do when he officiates Arsenal games, and he's not the only one. It comes down to the VAR decision, and I don't understand how VAR. I don't know what they're doing, and in fact, nobody knows what they're doing if they're not looking at every challenge. With some liberty, obviously, right? You can't look at every single challenge. Yes, the referee on the pitch has the say, and you want the game to flow and everything. But on that breakaway in the first half, when Obo was sprinting through to try to get to join the attack, and MacArthur just tripped him. Just flat out tripped him. No foul, no nothing. VAR didn't look at it. No card. And then Bukayo Saka, just a little bit later, is just running past Jordan Ayew, and Jordan Ayew leaves his legs out, basically just drags his legs, goes over, and Mike Dean pulls out a yellow card faster than I mean, I never seen anything like it. These decisions, this decision was dreadful. It was horrible. I couldn't believe it. My first reaction when I was watching it was, I can't believe he just called that a foul. And the second, because the camera went right to Mike Dean, who was holding the yellow card, I couldn't believe it, man. I fucking screamed. I screamed. My girlfriend was napping next to me. I don't blame her, because the game was boring. I woke her up, and I couldn't believe that. And furthermore, right before the half, again, talking about Saka, MacArthur just battering him like Joe Rogan's UFC kick. I mean, you're not getting the ball there. First of all, yeah, I saw one Arsenal fan trying to play devil's advocate, I suppose, on Twitter. He replied to me. He said he's going for a volley. He's trying to volley the ball, but this isn't FIFA. Like I said on Twitter, this isn't FIFA. You're not going to glitch through the player's leg. I mean, he knows Saka. He's standing right in front of him, man. Bukayo's going to clear the ball with his head, and MacArthur just straight up judo kicks him in the back of the leg. And a yellow card for that? A yellow card for that? He should have had a yellow for the trip on Oba. So, if anything, it should have been a second yellow, if not a flat-out red. I know Jimmy Carragher spoke about it, how he thought it should have been a red. Mikel Arteta, after the game, said he had no idea how this player was still on. And these are the type of teams that you get where players, they do things like this. Burnley, Crystal Palace, I suppose you could say Brighton as well. These teams that sort of tend to sit in the middle of the table and tend to always be there. Obviously, it's where Arsenal find themselves now, and they have done for the past 2 seasons. It's where we've been. So, look, the decision was a horrible decision. Mike Dean, look, he's had some good games. I think, obviously, he's refereeing at the top level. But what it just again, I don't know what VAR doing. They're out for takeout or they're on vacation or I don't know what's going on where you can't look at it. Or in fact, if they have looked at it, which I've seen that they have, we need the fans the people who are watching, the fans in the stadium, we need some sort of assurance and some form of consistency because there's no consistency in it at all whatsoever, man. It is embarrassing, this thing that's come in to help the game and to make the correct decisions. And it rarely does. It rarely does because there's moments like this where the right decision isn't made. And there's moments, think back to the David Luiz Wolves game where decisions made that it's just baffling. It's just baffling. But look, enough with VAR. I've had my say. Whether or not you agree with that, you can let me know what you think in the comments, obviously, or of course on Twitter. You can always let me know what you think on there. But look, Arsenal, it was down to them. It was down to the manager's tactics, and again, we were lucky to get away with a point. A bit of unlucky, a bit of lucky. The game was just boring. The way we set up with Pepe coming in, obviously. Partey just sitting alone in that midfield. I know Charles Watts mentioned this in his video, his pregame video, about how he thinks that might happen, and you want to add another attacking player and kind of let Partey sit there. But it didn't work. It didn't work. You had Odegaard coming really, really deep to try to get the ball, and that's Granit Xhaka's role. That's what he does well. I know he's a controversial figure, and people don't like him, and yeah, he can be rash at times, obviously, but that's his role, and I think the team is they do play better with Granit Xhaka. I mean, that's just a fact. You can look at stats and you can talk about his red cards and his horrible decisions, but it's a fact that we do play better with Granit Xhaka in the side. So Odegaard had a really, really bad game, I think, overall. But again, he was asked to do something that is not his strength, and we've seen his quality, and his quality is linking up with Emile Smith Rowe in an attacking third, and it just wasn't enough. Saka came off injured, and Sambi Lokonga came on, and you have to say maybe he was at fault for the second goal. Obviously, Edouard had a long way to run. You could also put a lot of blame on Ben White, and of course Aaron Ramsdale, I think, could have done better. It's so tricky because the shot was such a weird shot right over his head, a lot of power in it, but I think could have done better. Ben White should have really just charged at him instead of letting him run 30 yards, and obviously Sambi Lokonga giving the ball away. It's poor, and teams like Crystal Palace, they're going to punish you for that. They were very, very well structured, set up very well by Patrick Vieira. I think a point, Crystal Palace obviously unlucky not to win the game, but I think obviously you have to take points where you can get them, and we did get away with a point. So It is what it is, man. And I'm just going to go over a few things here. Talking about Mikel Arteta's press conference. He said, it's a strange game. We started really well, which we do. I mention this all the time. We always tend to start games well. He goes on and talk about we lacked composure and maturity probably to manage the game. But he's talking about managing the game. I mean, you are the manager. You are the manager of this football club. So this is all so weird to me, man. I don't get it. The manager is talking about how we could have managed the game better and the situation. And we just defended and sat back after that first goal. None of it made sense to me. After halftime, obviously he had to make the change. We were forced into the change. Bukayo Saka had to come off. But I thought, why not put, Martinelli on or bring Lacazette on right then? Instead of bringing another midfielder on, it is what it is. Point. Let me. Sorry, I get distracted. I don't mean to get frustrated. So excuse me for that. Again, I mentioned the unbeaten run. He said it's positive because I know the group is never going to give up. It doesn't matter what happens. The team kept trying at the end, and we got the minimum reward we deserved. He's got a point. Lacazette, when he came on, I thought did really well. That first shot, I thought maybe he could have taken a touch and had a better angle. I suppose it's a good save from Guaita, but and you saw the passion from Lacazette, which is something you always get from that man. Just sort of throwing his hands up like you see a lot of players do. They're trying to get reactions out of the crowd. And I thought when that was happening, it was sort of like he's realizing his time at Arsenal is coming to an end, and obviously there's contract talks, and it doesn't look like he's going to sign anything, which he shouldn't, in my opinion. Most likely off in the summer. And it seemed like he's always given his all, and he's there. He's fighting for the club, and it was sort of like a little, maybe it's just me, but sort of a little send off, and he's thinking, these are my last moments with the club, and I want the fans behind me and behind the team, and sometimes that's what it takes, and the fans again were brilliant at that stadium, so at the Emirates, and all credit to them, and of course credit to Bukayo Saka, and again I mentioned, Andre Lacazette, obviously, for scoring the equalizer. I talked about the comments that Arteta had on the Bukayo Saka injury. Obviously he came off at halftime. He said Bukayo could not continue. We had to take him off at halftime. I saw the action, and I can't believe how the player continued on the pitch. And he's right. I mean, again, we can talk about he should have been sent off, and we hit the post, but the tactics the manager set up, look, we were not the better team yesterday, and it was clear. It was clear. So, and one more thing here on Mikel talking about Partey's long shots, which I thought this is kind of strange. He's talking about, today in one of them he was much closer than he has been. It's something that we are practicing with him to determine and decide the areas where we are more likely to score goals. He needs to keep trying, but in the right areas. I don't know. This is a bit strange to me. I'm not sure why we're talking about, he hasn't scored a goal yet for Arsenal, but, as a midfielder, really, you shouldn't be feeling that pressure to score a goal. We know he's got a great shot on him. We've seen him score. I mean, he scored for Ghana in the international break, scored plenty of goals for Atletico. It'll come. So this was kind of weird. Obviously, Partey, I'm sure he would love to score a goal, but, overall, I don't know. Those comments were. I thought it was a bit strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm strange myself. But look, guys, that's about it for me. I'm going to sum it up here. Of course, thank you very much for watching. If you have watched, if you've made it this far, if you've clicked on the video, if you skipped around, I do appreciate it very much. And as always, if you're willing to, that's my Xbox. If you're willing to, come on, you want to say a few things to me. Talk on Discord, and maybe we can make a video and have a sort of forum and talk about Arsenal. Of course, I'm open to talking about the U.S. men's team, obviously. So either of those, I'm always open to discussion, guys. Any fans welcome, really, whoever tends to stumble upon these videos, because as always, I'm getting tired of looking at my face and hearing my voice by itself. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I will be back again, of course, on Saturday, most likely, if not Friday, with a video on the Aston Villa game. So again, thanks, guys, and I'll see you when I see you.